to do, you have to make sure that it's known to this office, and you have also the approval to do so. As Office of the President, we must have a procurement committee that will look at, that will be responsible for procurement for all the institutions that are under the Office of the President. We cannot have a procurement committee for every department under the Office of the President. So if each and every one of you have to have your own procurement committee, then we have a problem. Because if any one of you violates the rules of the GPPA, it will be classified as Office of the President, which will be unacceptable. For the purposes of transparency and accountability, we will work on having a procurement committee at the level of the Office of the President that will take care of what you want to do. Now, one will say, but we also have different boards. Yes. Whatever you want to do, go to the board, and if they have approval, that doesn't mean that you have approval for you to go and buy. Approval for what you intend to do, but the final approval comes from this office. Let me make that very clear. Sometimes some of you have come with the explanation that, well, it has been approved by the board, and so what? The approval of the board does not necessarily mean that it's automatic that you should go ahead and do the buying, because after all, you are under a minister or you are under an office. So then it also comes to travel and training. I realized that from September, there was this unprecedented request for travel clearance for workshops, and of course you know my position with regards to workshops, and then you call them training workshops. I have no objection to training workshops if they are cost effective, and there's no way any one of you can convince me that a workshop of 2 days, where the cost of the air ticket is almost about $500,000, and somebody will have to travel 5 days to attend a workshop for just only 2 days and come back, you call that a training workshop that is worth $500,000, that is unacceptable. Because with that $500,000, you could have sent even 5, 6 to 10 staff to go and do the same training at the MBI or University of the Gambia for a whole academic year. So when we ask, they say, oh, the board has approved and it is part of our budget. Let me make it very clear, if any one of you have such similar training programs, you better take them off, because there is no way I'm going to approve that. I will not approve a training workshop. You go from here to Tanzania just for a 2 days workshop and say that, oh, this will enhance the performance of somebody. That is unacceptable. The same amount of money you spend to send somebody to just go and attend a 2-day workshop could be spent on training 1 or 2 staff at the University of the Gambia or any of the local universities within the sub-region. So I think we have to set our priorities right. And that is why after this meeting, the Minister and the Secretary General will convene a meeting where all your training programs for the year 2013, the intended programs, would have to be, all of you have to meet together, so that each and every one of you put all your cards on the table, so that we prioritize what is cost effective and what will be a waste of money, which will not be accepted. I think there was a lack of coordination. This time around, it is unacceptable. There must be full coordination in the Office of the President. We have to make sure that whatever we do, it is very transparent, it's very clear, and we must have a clear-cut direction. Also, if you have not got your priority plan for the year 2013, from this meeting you better make sure that you go and set your priorities right, based on also the limited resources that we have. I think every one of you must have a plan to achieve something every month or every quarter. But what is more important, we all have seen what is in the budget, but you have to look at priority areas that require urgent attention. And so your resources for the year, the budget for the year that have been approved by your boards or that have to be approved by your board, or maybe some of you have not worked on your budget yet. When you're making a budget, you make sure that you know what your primary constraints are, and within your budget work towards taking care of the constraints that you can take care of, and anything beyond your resources, the amount of resources you have, should be referred to this office so that we can see what we can do. Now, so gone are the days when you will be on your own and then somebody comes out and you start talking about, oh, we are supposed to do this and that, and about these are the constraints. We have to work together as a team. We have to ensure that we achieve what we have set for ourselves. 2015 is just two years away, but 2020 is 7 years away. Neither the 7 years nor the 2 years mean that we have time. We don't have time. It is also not too short for us to achieve if we set our basic priorities right. So unnecessary expenditure of resources for conferences and travel, forget it, because I am not going to tolerate that. You will only travel when it is necessary, and meetings that are meant for your experts, these are experts meetings. Why would the MD be there or the PS be there or whatever minister be there? Send the people that are experts, let them go and attend. And I don't think you should also keep an expert that you think will not be comfortable to represent your institution outside. If you have such an expert, then that expert is not supposed to be there. You should be able to have confidence in your experts. So basically, this is why I have called all of you to understand that we work together. There will be strict coordination, and there should be strict compliance to all the financial regulations and the GPPA regulation and the Public Service Commission regulations, including that of the PMO. We also have to look into the long term. Your plans, whatever plans you have for the development of your institution, you should have short-term plans, plans for the medium term, and plans for the long term. In all these three categories, you should understand that the fundamental necessity is human resources. So rather than send somebody to pay somebody for $500,000 to go to a 2-day workshop, which is the very short and unnecessary term, this amount is better spent in sending at least 2 or 3 people to MDI or GTTI or whatever to do at least a 3-month course. So you look at the key areas that are indispensable in the proper functioning of your institution, and then look at it against the personnel you have, human resource